Okay, I can see your head.
All right, I can see my head. No one else is in the.
No.
Nobody here yet, because we just do this impromptu stuff. So I'll just have a beer. And if no one shows up, then I'll talk to you.
Oh, that'll work out just fine. 6 people are watching.
What happened?
6 people are watching.
Oh, watching me drink a beer?
Or pour a beer.
Pour a beer? Sorry, I didn't know anybody was in the room. 6. Happy Friday. Cheers. Don't really have audio, do we? Sorry, I'll get some audio maybe. I guess. We should hear some audio. Hello.
I don't hear audio. I can turn it on here, but then it creates a feedback.
Yeah, I wonder where my audio is. I can't hear anybody, so.
There are 7 people watching.
There's 7 people watching though. Happy Friday. I don't know if everybody or anybody has seen the last video we dropped. And if so, I'm talking about it. It's actually a great opportunity for people out there to start, if you want to start your own business and you need to, something small that you can do out of the back of your truck, car. Crack repair would be a great way to start a small business, and you could probably repair more cracks than. That sound right? That sound right, Tom?
Crack repair is lucrative.
Crack repair is lucrative. So if there's any questions on crack repair, if you want to know about crack repair, if you watch the video and you have questions.
You made Danny Lister the admin.
I did? I didn't?
I'm looking at it right here.
No, I didn't. Well, I didn't, but
Well,
I don't know
nobody
how
else could. Only you. He couldn't make himself.
Well, I did you a week or so ago.
Okay.
I don't know how it is, but Danny Lister's an admin. That's fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Danny Lister's in charge.
That's odd.
Mm-hmm.
All right, is there any questions? Hello. Hi, everybody. Good afternoon. He does have it in blue and his little red on it, right?
He's the admin.
Yeah,
That's what I do this with you in face, so I know what it is.
I know, you're going to on camera. Obviously, yeah. All right. Okay, so any...
Rusty Blue Super Beetle Mechanic. Hello, Danny. Glad to see you this Friday. Rick Roberts is so happy I found your channel. Love the work you're doing with the hot vapor stuff.
Thanks, Rick. And Rusty Blue Beetle. Is it Rusty Blue Beetle?
Super Beetle.
Super Beetle. Sorry, it's Rusty Blue Super Beetle. This is only my first beer. When the beer's gone, then we'll stop. But like I said, this was questions. If you had any questions on crack repair, and I still want to encourage somebody to start a crack repair business. It's very lucrative. It's just labor. You don't have a lot of money on machines. So I'm looking at Shop Mom and talking to you, or maybe. All right, I'm glad you found the channel on the hot vapor stuff. I may even put that on something else, because I've heard people say, oh, the channel that's just about hot vapor, and it's not. It's actually about how to do things. The hot vapor, I may just take it off and start a different channel just on that to not confuse people. All right.
Not yet, as you say.
Yes, on a private joke on. All right, does anybody have any questions on crack repair? Did anybody watch the video?
Well, Wade said he watched about half and then he needed to start working.
Sorry about that, Wade. Since it's an actual instructional video, I couldn't just really fast forward all of it. You got to have some meat to it. In fact, that's only, that's not even the finishing of that first crack. There's 2 cracks in the cylinder head. And I have the finishing of that first crack, which was going to be the first video. And it was just getting too long. It was 1 o'clock last night, and I've been working on it all week. And then we have the second crack as well. So there's going to be several more episodes of crack repair. Okay, somebody else put something, I can't read that far.
Well, Rick Roberts hasn't had a chance to watch it.
It's a long video.
It is a long video.
But you have the weekend, so...
and the conversation doesn't have to be limited to crack repair.
Oh, it does not. We don't have to limit the conversation to crack repair. All right. Ask anything if it's automotive, especially engine stuff. That's all. Also, I have pretty much an opinion on everything. So, but that doesn't mean that that it has to be just.
Well,
for
you
that.
don't have to keep looking at me. You're
Oh,
talking
I'm sorry.
to
Well,
them.
she's right there, and
You're talking to them.
it's much easier to look that way than look at myself on the camera. All right. We totally understand. No need to apologize. Well, thank you, Wade. No plumbing jokes. Yes. Okay. We won't do plumber's crack jokes. There you go. Anything else? Anybody?
Well,
Pretty-
Kevin just finished watching it.
Thank you, Kevin.
He thought it was slick. Now that's not going to sit there like
That's
that.
not going to sit there like that.
Would you like to use this so that it will hold it up? Because
If you're not using it, and all right. So.
this is just me being helpful, folks.
This
is what I do.
And we haven't done a live stream in a long time, and I do have exciting news. We do have some exciting news. The live streams are coming back. We've been on a little bit of a break. Oops, sorry, didn't spill my beer, but it was close.
That's alcohol abuse.
That would be alcohol abuse. All right, I'm gonna try to get my act together here. Anyway, Faye's got another 4 weeks, 5 weeks. It's getting real
She's
close.
busy.
But we've already are setting the dates, and I'm not going to say it here because it's still a little tentative. We're making sure that she's open. We're open. She'll be back. Right now, she's in another part of the country, and we will be back to our, I guess, semi-regular.
Semi-regular. Yeah,
so-
yeah. After she gets through this next burst of travel, she should have a dedicated block where we can try to fit in some regular live streams and get back to hopefully book club, because we all left off right at a pivotal moment. And for those of you who are part of our Smoky Book Club, you know that May is a special month.
Yes. It was 20 on Mother's Day. Was the 20-year passing
May 9th.
May 9th of Smokey passing. I don't know if you celebrate somebody's passing, so I haven't.
You commemorate.
You commemorate the passing of Smokey Unick for 20 years. At the 10-year anniversary, we ran the engine on a stand, which is real controversial. Everybody says, "Oh, anybody can run it on a stand." It didn't run. Blah blah blah. And then on the 20-year anniversary, I had planned to have it back in the car and run it. So that's still the plan. We're a little bit behind schedule, and the reason being, tires for that car aren't. It's a 13-inch tire, and it's a specific tire, and there isn't any tires to be had. So we're doing some changing of a tire that's still pretty close to the same height. Also, we're getting all the specs on the camshaft, and I'm building a cam doctor. Excuse me, but that should be another video of just, you probably want to know what a cam doctor is. And that's just a device to put a camshaft on and get all the data from it a lot quicker than old-fashioned mapping it, which is the way that I've been doing it.
So Rick Roberts is asking, is it possible to make your own hot vapor engine? I'm sure he means, are there any tutorials? I'm really interested in using a Mazda 1.3 single overhead cam cast block aluminum head if it's practical. No, I haven't read Smokey's books. Okay, well, before we get into anything else, you need to read Smokey's books. But now you can answer.
And that's it's always my first answer. It's kind of like what Smokey would do. It's don't ask a question if you haven't read the book. It didn't show you that you have the interest in it. I'm not saying that you don't. And I encourage just read the book because there's tons of pictures. There's it actually gives a lot of clues to what's going on. He didn't want to answer, and there's a bunch of reasons we need to go on that. It is possible. I've been inside these engines, and all of the misinformation that they had pistons made of that unobtainable material, and ceramics and Inconel connecting rods and everything possible that you've heard. And we took apart an engine live on a month or so ago, not too long ago, on a Friday night. We were going to just dabble into it. Everybody can ask questions. And by the time it was all over, we had the engine completely apart. I've had the Dodge apart. I've had several engines apart. And I can tell you that there's a version of this that you can build that isn't exotic parts. So yes, when you get a little bit further into it, like I said, I may start another. I don't know about another page, maybe a Patreon or something, just for the hot vapor stuff. Like I said, people have been going, well, you know, Danny, that's a guy that's whatever, just on the hot vapor. And this channel is not just on the hot vapor. In fact, it's mainly a how-to channel on how to do stuff at home.
Well, yeah, but we are, you know, really interested in the hot vapor. It's as we continue to worry about how much of the planet we're burning up rather than burning fuel in our engines, we should revisit that subject.
Yes, yes. So you know, hang in there, stay tuned. There's a lot of stuff already that I've already filmed that's there that really there's a lot there. You just have to. You'd almost have to have the book, and then if you watch the video that I'm kind of going by giving you some of the clues that are in the book, but you might not know that it's a clue until I say something, you know. And it should be easy to be way ahead of everybody else just by if you've read the books and
Looking for clues.
So you know it would give you a lot of insight. It's like. Once you read it, if you're reading enough about it, you start asking questions that only would have come by you reading the book. So then, if you watch the videos, you would see, well, he just answered a question that I already had because I read the book. So, you know, all right, okay, all right, okay.
This is tough on Danny, you guys. So some of our regulars, let's give him some feedback, ask him some questions, because he's feeling a little lonely without Faye.
And then we had Liliana, which helped to have a sidekick.
Well, Liliana was very helpful.
Yeah.
We may introduce Ophelia. Because
to another little gearhead.
When you have a 4-year-old who knows what a cam signal is, you got something.
Hey, Dave Johnson, we missed y'all too. Like I said, we have some great news from Faye. She's wrapping up her filming in 2 parts of the country. So we will get back to our live streams and fun. ASC questions have turned out to be really good. It was a shock to me that y'all would have so much interest in ASC questions, which is fun. Because I don't know everything, and it's fun for y'all to you know.
I'll be right back.
All right. She's going to go deliver a sonar hit. All right, so I'm on my own. Any other questions? You guys having trouble getting cams and lifters nowadays? Because yes, Kevin, awesome question. Everybody in the industry is having issues. There was already problems with lifters anyway. If you're in the business, then you know that anyway. Lifter failure. Lifter failure started with no zinc and phosphorus in oil. So no zinc and phosphorus in oil started everybody having flat cams. This wasn't Comp's fault. This wasn't Crane's fault. This wasn't Iski's, Bullets, anybody's fault of flat tappet cams going flat. And at first, we did think, the industry thought, man, cheap cams, outsourcing camshafts to China, so on and so forth. They're not hardening them. There are a lot of inferior cams out there.
Oh yeah, did you talk about the ones cast in India?
Oh, the ones cast in India, and I'm not going there. I'm just saying we've seen. I got some on the counter. I could bring you, show you cam. Wearing really bad, not being hardened, not being surface hardened or Rockwell hardened deep enough at all. Even roller cams, totally wearing. So there is some inferior stuff out there. But most of the problem started with no zinc and phosphorus and all, and not doing a proper cam break-in, which you never had to do before. Before you put it in there, you rev it a few times, and you go and how many times did you flatten a cam? Unless it was a big block Chevy. But if it wasn't a big block Chevy, you really didn't flatten cams. You let them idle right from start. Not anymore. It's a different procedure. You cannot let an engine idle at all for the first 20 minutes. It must go up to 2,000 RPMs instantly. and it must stay up there for 20 minutes at least. I like to cycle back and forth, maybe go a little higher, maybe a little less. What it is you need to flood the camshaft with oil. So by turning the crankshaft at 2,000 RPMs, it splashes a lot of oil up to the camshaft, really floods it, really keeping it well lubricated, because it's doing a cam break-in. So there's a lot of heat on the lobe and the lifter, and you don't want to dry. Even putting lube on it will wipe the lube off when you're turning the motor over. A lot of that lube that you put on the cam ends up being in the pan, and then it goes through the filter, and then there goes your zinc and phosphorus. So also, you cannot use a regular oil. If you're using an oil off the shelf, unless you're going to a specialty shop, AutoZone, Pep Boys Hawaii, Napa CarQuest, and not picking on any auto parts, are not going to have a high zinc, high phosphorus oil on the shelf. If you watch the bottle, if you look at the bottle, it will say under not for highway use, because of the zinc and the phosphorus that they removed because of the EPA. So I don't mean to go sidetracked on zinc and phosphorus to cams, but yes, there is a while back, the trade wars with China and tariffs. Guess what? You're paying for them. No, America's not going to pay for them. Well, we're paying for them, and there's no parts. We have no cams. We have no lifters. Everything. We're having to.
Gaskets are getting tough.
Gaskets are hard to find. If you try to find an LS lifter, good luck. And then now we go to inferior products. We don't want to talk about any cam manufacturer, but there's a cam manufacturer that's really out there, real popular cam manufacturer, that I really won't use their lifters at all unless the customer just says, I can't afford an ISKI lifter. That gave you a clue of who's not on that list and who makes a good lifter.
Okay, but ISKI has implemented a policy that says if you're not buying our camshaft, we're not selling you lifters.
True.
Because
everybody's trying to buy the ISKI lifter because it's a great lifter. It's pricey.
Well, because there's nothing else available.
But but now ISKI says if you don't buy a cam kit, cam and lifters, they're not going to say the lifters right now. While there's this big old backlog of no parts. I mean, there's.
We're certainly seeing supply chain disruption, and it's really tough when you're trying to piece together something. Try doing a vintage build. Try having to cross over numbers, spend an hour and a half, 2 hours just to find rod bearings.
If you're doing
that's my life.
She's the parts sorcerer. You got to go now to several sources. You got to go everywhere. You can't just get it out of one box anymore. The warehouse, will have a certain amount. Another warehouse or online. I mean, everybody, you're having to piece everything together, and you can't get it from one source. Normally, I like to get all the parts, especially if it's a cam and lifters. I like to get the cam and lifters as a package or together. So if there's ever any problem, they can't go, oh, you didn't use my lifter. But that's getting hard. Excuse me, that's getting harder to do. So yes, there is. There's most definitely no parts out there right now. It's getting hard. If you're doing a build, advice would be go and start buying your parts now. Start buying your parts and start stashing them away, because when you get ready to build it, we'll be waiting 4 weeks, 6 weeks for a part that normally the warehouse would have or replenish pretty quickly. The warehouse I'm talking about is EPW, which is now...
It's EPWI, because there is an EPW. And they, MPW, National Parts Warehouse, bought them out a couple of months ago, I think at the beginning of March. And so they have consolidated warehouses, and we're seeing a lot of change in the way that we traditionally did business with
and
them.
They're now a larger parts warehouse, so they have more. They got warehouses all over the country.
Well, now they have product not just for engine builds, because MPW is kind of like a Summit. They sell filters, they sell plugs, they sell a lot of stuff that is helpful for a mechanic, not necessarily a machine shop. Or not necessarily just a machine shop.
So there you go. C-Bob's asked
C-Bob's country.
About running a hot vapor through an LPG carb. I know we talk about no, I mean I don't. It gets vaporized in the vaporizer. It's the first stage of turning it into vapor. LP gas is already a vapor, kind of. It's already it's a lighter gas than a heavy liquid. So in the phases of refining fuels. LP gas is one of the lighter things. If you now here's a thought. What if you were to externally vaporize it? You know, we're talking about internal vaporization. So we're using the engine's heat to vaporize the fuel internally. What if we were to external vaporize the fuel? Then it'd be like an LP gas. The problem that I can see is it's very volatile, and you're driving around with a bomb. It's like hydrogen. Who wants to drive around with a hydrogen tank on their vehicle? But if you could make hydrogen on the fly, on demand, as much hydrogen as you can. That's what stopped my hydrogen testing. I built so many different hydrogen gas, HHO, and I studied it, built it. I could get a Briggs & Stratton 2.5 horsepower motor to idle, but you can't currently make enough to run an engine, especially wide open throttle. So you have to store it, and at that point it becomes it wasn't the Hindenburg. What is it? The bomb, the hydrogen bomb that blew up.
I know. I was reading what Brian says. He's pointing out that it's not just engine parts. He's been waiting for Jeep brake parts that are on back order for 4 months now.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And
yes.
body panels. I mean, we got hail damage back in March, and we're still waiting on trim parts.
Yeah. It's everything, and it's not just automotive. It's everything. If you're into sewing machine parts, it's I do a lot of electronic stuff, and I'm waiting on a cable that had to come from Hong Kong, and it's been waiting for a while. But it's like, when you start trying to find parts. I'm building a cam doctor, and there's a cable that goes for the dial indicator over to the computer, and there just ain't none around. So a tip. Should I give tips? Should I give tips or should I give tips?
My favorite tip is stay out of the path of oncoming trains, but what is your tip?
My tip is when you start sourcing parts, especially on vintage stuff, eBay. eBay is not a bad place, because I would rather have a new old stock, a set of bearings that are actually Cleveite bearings, made in America. Yes, the box is dusty, dirty, they're brand new. So a lot of times when we're waiting for a part, no one has it. Go to eBay and look. There's a lot of most of your suppliers have an eBay store. Speedway Motors has an eBay store. Almost everybody has an eBay store, and sometimes they won't have it. Speedway, you're looking for something, they won't have it. We can check online. They won't have it, and you go to the eBay store, and they have it on the eBay store. So I'm not saying that eBay is the only one. I prefer eBay through PayPal because it's so secure, and there's never been a problem. There's a lot of old, when you're doing vintage stuff, you need a set of cam bearings. Right now we're doing a Studebaker. We're doing an early model Pontiac 6-cylinder overhead cam engine. We do a lot of vintage, obscure engines, things that just haven't been seen in a long time. I would most definitely rather have real parts. There's a lot of, we have a 64 Corvette, and I found 7 pistons in original General Motors boxes in 64. I needed 3 or 4. We're doing it in standard restoration, and I actually found General Motors in GM boxes. So we not only did we do good for this restoration by finding a piston for this motor, we actually found General Motors brand new old stock. It was a case of them that I bought. The back had been against the wall shelf and had gotten water damage in the back of it, but the front of the case still had good pistons. So I mean, I'd rather have a good quality part than, I don't want to say than a China part, because everything comes from China.
Well, no, now we're getting stuff from India, as we discussed in that crate motor that we will deliver after correcting all of the issues we found in that thing. And folks, be careful when you're buying stuff. It's weird. People will sell you a bill of goods.
Nutty Buddy, Danny, do they still make bow tie for crack
blocks?
For crack blocks.
Maybe as a replacement?
Like a bow tie block, a GM bow tie block. That's what you're talking about. I haven't seen it. I have 1, 2 in the back, older stuff. And Shop Mom's gonna look right now. I don't think they're still making bow tie blocks. You know what's really difficult though? Right now you can't even get World Products blocks. Something about the foundry. is it Dart or World Products? The foundry, they had a problem with the foundry, and that's another issue. Is if you have in on your shelf, like we have a brand new block in a box, and they're worth a lot right now.
Yes.
If you're on Texas, we had a bad freeze, and every boat shop, every walker, I just want to buy a 350, a one-piece block standard, just a block, or I want to buy a 305, just a block,
305,
just a block.
yeah.
Good luck. There is none to be had. Everybody froze. That's why the video is so good on freeze cracks, especially on a Chevy 350. They're in the valley or they're on the side. My uncle would call them cosmetic cracks. They're not in the combustion chamber. You could put block sealer in it, it would seal it. It's a boat, so you can't have block sealer because there's no closed loop unless you're an offshore boat. Around here we have lakes, so we take in the lake water, so how are you gonna put block sealer in it? But you could plug it. All right.
And that's important.
That is important. Who else?
Well, Cilio's here. We missed him. He's from Slovenia, you'll recall.
Yes.
Our live stream buddy.
Well, it's good to see everybody, or you see me. It's good
David Johnson, I don't know that you saw this earlier, has picked up a new hobby, or I don't know that it's a good hobby, but he bought a 3D printer.
Oh.
So new learning curve. We've been through that one.
I love 3D printers. I built my first 3D printer years ago when it was made out of all thread. You remember the kid? If you, David, if you've probably been watching 3D printing for a while. And at first you had to buy them together with all thread. It was a kit. That was my first one. I think I'm on my third or fourth one now. We gave
Oh
Lily
my God! Please don't remind me.
Yeah, I gave my grandkids the last one. I had refined it, tweaked it just right, and then they're a little frustrating at first, but they're getting better. My new one I have, which is I haven't even printed with it yet, besides assembling it, and started now tweaking on it. It has a self-leveling bed. We had to go level everything by hand. So they're getting really cool and real cheap. I think my first one I paid way too much for a kit that you put together.
And your last one you had me pay for, so.
Oh yeah, that's right. So
Yeah,
that was even better. So I don't know which one you have, and then which software you're going to use, but awesome. Man, we could have a whole 3D printing club. I love 3D printing. I mean, there's a little bit of a learning curve, but anyway, don't get me started on 3D printing. But what do you say? I have a Creative Ends 3 Max. I need to go read that one. So it's a commercial one. So it's actually it was probably already assembled, or most of it assembled. I converted one of my older ones to an actually LED screen. Before it didn't have an LED screen. It just has it didn't have anything to really screen. You had to do it through a laptop. Now you can put everything on a zip card or little drop it in, and you don't even need to have it connected to a computer.
Which is very cool. Makes it much more user friendly.
Yes, and then with Thingiverse. Thingiverse. Oh, you probably Dave, have you found Thingiverse?
If you haven't found Thingiverse, you need to go check it out. There's a lot of free open source data out there that you can, take advantage of somebody else's generosity.
Oh, I can't draw. I can draw. I can do from architectural drawing to regular drawing, oil paintings. The frustrating part is when you get a screen, and if I could touch the screen and draw on the screen, boy, I'd be there. So AutoCAD is not my thing. So I tried. I'm still, but that's the most frustrating to me. So I go to Thingiverse. Somebody's already done what I want to do. I think 99.5% of the time, someone's already done it. Or I can take a file from there, and then I can convert it a little bit and change some things. But Thingiverse, if you haven't found it, is amazing. You go, and there's categories from automotive to plants to flowers to everything, to knives out of 3D printed knives, whatever. And then you just download it and you print it yourself.
Brian says he just received a new switch panel for his Jeep. It was 3D printed and looked so much cleaner than the other switch boxes available. Remember when we were first talking about 3D printers, that was one of the things I thought was most advantageous about it. You're out in the boonies, you're out in the middle of Arizona or whatever, and you need a new switch, or you need a panel, you need whatever, you got a 3D printer, you can do it yourself.
Mm-hmm. And you can print with ABS plastics. Don't do it inside. Do it outside. We use PLA plastics inside. It's not harmful at all. So I actually print in the living room while I can watch what's going on, and I have my printer set up there. But if you're going to print with ABS plastics, which is what the plastic that's under the hood of a car, so it can handle a lot of heat.
Right.
If you print some stuff with the regular plastic, as soon as it gets hot, it melts. And I've transported stuff from the house to here and have it, distort in the car, in the trunk or whatever. So,
And that wasn't because of my driving.
it wasn't because of your driving, but ABS plastics is just print outside. You can do it in the house, put an exhaust fan blowing out because you don't want to smell that.
So apparently we're boring people.
Am I boring people?
Have
We're
any
leaving?
Questions? Anybody have a topic of conversation?
Anybody?
There's no Faye here. It's just us.
Oh, are we losing people? All right.
Whatever. I don't really care.
All right. I just want to come on and just say, if anybody had any questions on the crack repair, like I said, and I think we're.
Although we could open it up to other questions.
Oh no,
in
anything.
as much as you have not been available to people for quite some time.
Yes, I want to tell everybody that we're coming back. I think 5 weeks, 4 weeks. It won't be long. We are coming back.
Oh, and when we come back, we're going to have a cool giveaway.
Oh, that's right.
It's going to be a real cool giveaway. No, we're not going to steal Face Thunder because she likes doing that. But yeah, folks, keep your eyes out for notifications on the live stream. It will be a very cool one.
I'll give you a heads up a week ahead of time or something. But I'm sure Faye will do the same. But it is going to be cool. That's right. The first one's going to be really something.
Yes.
Really something. Really something special. Okay.
It's just weird not being able to do a simple rebuild now. Yeah, no kidding. Tell me about it.
Yeah. And then you do anything vintage.
How about when you order something and you think it's showing up and it doesn't come and you try to find out what UPS did with it and nobody has an answer for you and then there aren't any more available? Yeah, that's my life too. Hey, Sammy.
Hey, Sammy. Haven't seen you in a while, but he keeps up. He always comments, so I know he's doing.
Oh, I always comment too, but nobody pays attention to me. That's so sad.
He's looking forward to seeing the band back together. Yeah, we're excited.
Yeah, the boys are back in town. Oh no, that's another song. Never mind.
Okay. Cleaner. What's cleaner?
He's correcting his spelling.
Oh.
Because for some people that's really important.
Like you.
Oh yes, big pet peeve. Can we all spell correctly? And let's be grammatically correct. That's also important.
Yes, Dave. I like Dave. Yeah, we are vaccinated as well, and doing really good.
Yep.
Life is getting back to normal.
I got to hug my mother.
Yes, for the first time.
I got to hug
over
my
a year.
mama. Yes.
You got to hug your mom. Yep.
Yeah. Mother's Day was so meaningful for me because I got to hug my mama.
And we've had the grandkids.
The grandkids came and spent the night. That was fun.
That was the first time since
first time
a year.
in 15 months.
15 months.
Yeah. Now the kids haven't been vaccinated yet, so we're still being cautious here in the shop. Maybe it's just because I like being in charge and I won't let people in unless they are wearing a mask. But really looking forward to trying to get life back on track.
Yeah, Kevin is right. Yeah, there's no simple rebuild.
Wade says he reads my comments. Oh, thank you, Wade. I'm so glad somebody reads my comments.
I'm sure somebody's paying attention to her.
Well, thank you for the Happy Mother's Day. It was a Happy Mother's Day because, like I said, I got to hug my mama. That's really all that mattered to me. Okay. Anybody else? Talk amongst yourself, folks. Don't know. Somebody.
We have a lot of comments. I'm gonna make sure the boys have blocks that are
order parts. It gets broke. Oh, or you order parts and it gets broken during shipping and it's been on back order for a month. Now you got to wait another 2 because of careless handling at some point in the process. Or you bought something from somebody who didn't know how to pack it.
There's a cam on the counter. It's a 3/4 cam.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we wait for so long, and it was a Cadillac cam, and it gets here.
They put no. That they knew when they boxed that it was broken because there was no damage to the box. So,
but you can drop a cam in. Well, anyway, I knew that a cam doesn't have multiple pieces. It shook and
It shouldn't.
Yeah. So after waiting for a while for, was it a 331 Cadillac? It was an early Cadillac. So anyway,
Was that the 331? No, that was the 500.
500 Cadillac.
That was a
Wow.
500. Yeah, that made it even worse. Okay, so y'all have heard me talk about.
And yes, bow ties were for way back in the day, so we know we're talking. They just sent a Smoky NASCAR inspection cam. Oh yes.
Let's see, I'm gonna go get this over here.
You need help loading that song in?
No, it's just a phone.
Oh, it's just the phone. Can you repair a deck for using your? Yes, you most definitely can. And on a deck, it's actually that's a perfect candidate for a repair. It's on the deck. Once you put it in there and you torque them down, it can't come up. It can't come loose. It's in a deck. I prefer, if it's in a combustion chamber, to take it out to the deck or to take it underneath the seat. You don't want to ever leave a plug in a combustion chamber that's not underneath the seat or underneath the deck. So even if I got to go a little bit further, it's got to be underneath the two. You don't. The people that have done crack repair with plugs and it hasn't worked and they have a bad, for some reason back in the day, everybody got the idea, or I've seen a lot of old timers doing this, and they have a crack and they'll put a plug every 1/4 inch. And it's like, well, you still have the crack in between. That's the most common I've seen before. I also see where they don't drill a hole on both sides of the crack past it. And once you start doing the crack repair, it actually expands it because they're tapered plugs and you're torquing them in. And then the crack just keep going further. And you're like, you start off with a crack this long and you got a crack that long, So that's another common thing that it's like, well, you didn't drill the two ends first. Now you can stretch it all you want. And the crack's there. It ain't going to go any further. All right. So there was a crack repair question.
I did see that.
Yeah,
Can you repair deck surface cracks using your method?
Yes, the deck is an excellent place. We used to do them, like I said, in the combustion chamber a lot. When I was a kid, I used to ride my 100 motorcycle across town, and when I got there, my uncle would have heads there to repair cracks. Well, I would do a lot of crack repair. All right. High school teacher in the 80s taught me to fix a block. Yep. And earlier stuff is more of a candidate for success. If you don't have at least a 1/4 inch, you want 4 or 5 threads, and thin, lightweight castings are too thin, and there's not enough there to hold the plug. So if you have a lightweight casting, go ahead and drill. It's cracked anyway. Drill a hole in and see how thick it is right there. The reason it cracked there because that's the thinnest spot. It flexed. The thinnest spot is where it cracked. So
Farmer Girl of Chickens is here.
Farmer Girl's here. Hey, we haven't seen.
Okay, the party can start now.
The party can
Farmer
start.
Girl is
All
here.
right, grab your beer, everybody.
She can't hear us. Oh no. That's so sad.
Does everybody can't hear us? Has nobody been able to hear
No,
us?
she's driving.
Oh, okay.
She's in a very loud diesel.
Oh, okay. I will talk real loud. All right. For everybody else is like, oh my God. All right. I don't know sign language either, so that's a terrible joke. I may just cuss somebody out.
And that's really rude.
I know. I caught myself. I stopped. I stopped.
See, I have to be. It's not just that I'm shop mom. I'm the mom.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. We've been, we didn't even tell Terry we were doing this.
No. Well, Terry's actually in the States right now.
Oh.
For those of you who are part of our regular group on Fridays.
We got these wonderful glasses from.
That's right. Terry's youngest son is graduating from college. Terry did manage to get vaccinated so he could travel. Unfortunately, RC was not able to get her vaccinations in time. So she's missing her son's graduation because, COVID sucks. Boy, that's depressing.
God.
I feel bad now having said that.
Yes.
Really bad. Don't look at me. You got people over there to talk to. Talk to those people.
I'm talking to people. I'm talking, answering questions. Anybody have any questions? Ready? Damn. Yeah, that was a damn. All right.
It does suck. COVID
So-
does suck.
What happens if I push this button? Oh.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, all right. I want to do that. It's awfully bright. Okay.
Brian says he knows Italian Sign Language, but it's not appropriate for YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Sounds like Mexican Sign Language.
It's all the Mexican Sign Language, yes.
It is nice that there's a lot of the regulars in here. Everybody,
Yes,
you know.
we've been meaning to at least just come on and say hi, and we're not dead, and we're doing good. We're healthy. We've been vaccinated. It was late last night. We were up till 1 o'clock doing that video, and I've been working on it all week long, every night. It's a lot to do it.
Okay, but the other side of it is we've also introduced a 4-year-old into our lives on a regular basis. So, you know, you should have children around when you're young and stupid. That's my thought. But
This is great granddaughter. So,
yeah, it's a lot of fun, but it's exhausting.
all right. What? Yes, ma'am.
Nope.
No more.
David Silva, hello from Amarillo, Texas.
Hey, there we go. A Texas native. I don't know if you're native. I don't know. But hello, David.
Can't wait for the new ASE questions here in a few weeks. That is true.
Like I said,
Those are a lot of fun.
Those have turned out to be a lot of fun, unexpected. We're gonna do it one time just to to try it, and actually that's the most fun. That's like we're gonna keep that most definitely. We may that may be the stronger part of it. I think we've learned that we do enjoy that,
We do.
and everybody else enjoys it too. And it's fun to guess at the questions. All right, keep looking that way.
Why does he keep looking at me, you people? Somebody do something over there so he can look at y'all.
Born in Hondo.
Born in Hondo. Boy, Hondo got some hail
Ooh.
damage, didn't they?
Yeah.
But you're glad you're not there now. Although you get as much in Amarillo.
But yeah, Hondo got hit really hard a week or two ago.
A couple of weeks ago, yeah.
couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, huge hail. Huge.
Did anybody else have any freeze crack blocks or anything? Nobody.
Well, a whole bunch of it happened in Texas, Louisiana, Oklahoma. There were a whole bunch of folks who.
I kind of thought
had
that the
damage.
freeze crack would have really got a lot of attention, but then again, it's such a old way to do stuff. All right.
It is an old
Alrighty
way to do
then.
stuff, but as we look at the
German
time,
sign,
oh
is
my
it?
gosh, look at that! It's
German
time to
sign
wrap
language.
things up since we don't have any more questions, but we've missed you guys.
German Sign Language is not appropriate either.
Well, let's talk about Mexican Sign Language.
All right.
You know, we could all go there. But it is fun to see you guys.
Yes, it's fun. I've finished my beer, and that was what we were gonna
And
do.
that was what
Just
we were
have a
gonna do.
beer with y'all. And
And actually, Danny had the beer. Again, I don't drink while
know-
I have to drive, so.
Farm
So-
Girls with Chickens, thanks for being for hanging with us.
And
for a
doing
little
what
bit.
to do.
Yes.
Sammy and Wade
Sammy,
and Danny
yes, Wade,
Lister
yes.
and Dave Johnson and Brian. Brian, who was the inspiration for our signature sign-off, Peace and Assembly
Peace and
Grease.
and we have shirts now that are
Yes.
Peace and Assembly Grease.
Yes.
I don't know why Danny Lister is the admin, but
Because.
because I made him,
Yes,
I hit the wrong
yes.
button. But he's been a cool admin. Thank you.
Nutty Buddy, Danny and Shop Mom, are you going to do smoke? I'm assuming he's means Smoky book on Secrets of Speed.
We're
We need a barbecue stream, is what Sammy says.
yes, that would and now that vaccine and stuff, we can literally almost I can see out of the tunnel of doing an outdoor live stream and with guests, with people coming by, and we do need a barbecue live stream. I'm still thinking, there's actually maybe a possibility of, which last year was no way at all, but how about SEMA? Just a thought. I don't know,
Still on the fence about that
Still
one.
on the
Still
fence.
on the fence.
Anybody going to SEMA? Anybody?
And Junior 78 Racer says, did you get the cam mapped in the hot vapor engine?
There's several cams. Yes, I the Dodge one. Matt,
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I mapped it old school way, dial indicator, degree wheel. I'm right now in the process of building a cam doctor. And all a cam doctor is just a device to drop in the cam. There's a degree wheel on it, and then there's a digital dial indicator, and I've made a lifter holder. And then I have a stepper motor that will turn the cam doctor, and then it'll stop at every degree, and then it's going to have a relay that will push a button that will send that over to a spreadsheet, and then be able to just hit the button, let this thing go over, and it'll just start plotting it. So that's where I'm at, so that I can plot it again digitally and plot all the different cams I have. I have tons of cams. I mean, Smokey must have gone through hundreds of cams. I would say 100 cams. There's way over that I saw. So it would take way too long to map them out by hand. But back in the day, Smokey didn't have a computer and he had to map them out by hand. So yes, and kind of yes. I get real frustrating if I map a cam out and I come back and I map it again and I'm off 1,000 or so. And I've mapped the cam on the Chrysler for a week and a half every night,
Right.
going home, going out to the shop. I would shop at home, go out to the shop, and mapping it again. And right now I have an average mapping of all these. There's slight differences, not very much. I'm talking about it's within 1,000. It's not even that far. But then I add them all up and average the numbers, and I get, so anyway, that's a long part
Okay,
of mapping a cam. I love to go to the.
I like what Sammy says. Danny posts before pictures of all his meats, but never after pictures. I feel deprived.
Okay, well, and actually, I'm not one to go take pictures of food, but a brisket,
A rack of lamb.
Oh, we just said a rack of lamb.
Rack of lamb is always awesome.
And then when it comes out, it's like we're eating it out.
I should have done that.
I already cut into the brisket. I have some. I might just do an after post of briskets, or I can do a whole brisket page just on brisket.
And David Silva says, let me know when your outdoor gathering is. I'm vaccinated. Barbecue, beers, and engine talk. I am down.
Yeah, see, well, most
Yeah,
people are vaccinated.
yeah.
That would be a thing. If you're maybe, who is it that's giving away $1 million for
Ohio.
Ohio, giving away $1 million to go get vaccinated.
Well, it's a lottery. So
a lottery,
you get,
but I mean-
and they're going to do it for 5 weeks.
Yeah, so we may have to do something.
Damn it.
Bring your vax card, and we'll have food, and we'll have a barbecue. We have a big awning we can put in the parking lot. That'd be cool. We used to have Friday night cruise nights, and we don't have those anymore. So
Because everybody died.
a lot of people died. But anyway,
The
not because
problem
of
with
COVID.
doing a lot of engine restoration is you deal with a lot of old people who are reliving their misspent youth. And as they age, they sometimes pass. It's so weird.
Thank you, Kevin. All right.
Okay,
Well-
as we said, this was just until Danny finishes beer. He's finished his beer. We've missed you guys. So happy to have had just a little bit of time to say that, because as tough as pandemic was, it did get us together with all of y'all. And it without pandemic, this
Yeah.
wouldn't have happened.
We wouldn't have ever started this if it wasn't for that. So when you just keep it going, like I said, I think it's been cool. We've enjoyed it.
Yeah, we have.
Um,
We have. And we'll do it again. We will do
We
it
will do
again.
it again.
In all likelihood, before Faye is back, because
We'll do
Danny
one
starts to jonesing for his peeps, and Faye's not going to be back for a little while. So
Yes.
set notifications, folks, so that you know
Yeah.
when Danny's
Yes.
coming
Put your
on.
notifications on. Take care, Sammy. Take care. Peace and assembly grease, everybody. Peace and assembly grease. This has been fun. We'll do it again at least one more time before it gets here. And the next time, I'll have some actual time when we're gonna do this, so we can go ahead and start letting people know. That's when we'll do it. Everybody, take care. Have a good weekend. Stay safe. Anything else, Shop Mom?
No, not unless somebody knows what I'm doing for dinner.
What are we doing for dinner? All right. Well, peace and assembly grease, everybody. Have a good weekend, and we will talk to you not too long from now.
That's right.
All right. We're done. If I can figure out how to turn this off.
That was